Hey everybody, this is Chad Daniels, and you have landed in the middle of somewhere. Hello, how are you? Thanks for coming back. Guess what? We're at ACME Comedy Company!
Stop looking at the camera.
Across from me, physically, for the first time in several years, is Cyrus Amundsen.
You come in here like it's some big moment and you won't.
It is a big moment.
I'm having a hard time. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy about the shows. I'm happy about the energy. I'm happy about everything.
Yeah.
And guess who won't have me to his. You won't invite me to your house.
That's right.
You live in the Twin Cities.
I live in the greater Minneapolis area.
I live in Cincinnati. That was very vague. And I live in Cincinnati, and I've come home for a one-night headlining show, and
Raise your hand unless you're driving. Raise your hand if you think that him yelling at me for not inviting him to my place of residence was only so he could talk about his headlining gig.
Raise your hand if you think that Chad is using a distraction method to take away from the fact that I am not by making me look like an egomaniac. Invite me to your house. Thank you. Thank you. Listen to me.
You listen to me first.
You fucking listen to me.
Okay, I'm ready.
I flew here.
Yeah.
And
I got to stop you. And I'm going to tell you why I stopped you.
Okay.
Because this is the first time I've been able to say, I got to stop you, and there wasn't a 3-second fucking lag where you're still talking. I'm so excited to be able to just interrupt you on a whim and have you hit the fucking brakes immediately.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I love you. I love the show. I love the listeners. Recording not together isn't as fun.
This is what's going to happen here. What is going to be the problem in this event?
Yeah.
With this event? In this event?
Doesn't matter.
With this event?
Pick a preposition.
People are going to go, oh, that's what it was like when the show was good. And then I'm going to go back to Cincinnati, and it's just over.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, for over 2 years, no one has ever seen me do this during the show because I'm so excited about it.
Here's the thing. Brandon keeps laughing in back, but
it's encouraging me.
Here's what it's like. I was listening to, there was this old recording of Elvis talking, Sun Records, the old Sun Records place?
Absolutely, of course.
And so there's this old recording of he's sitting there and he's talking with a bunch of people, and they're all kind of yes men.
Okay.
And Elvis is making jokes, and they are all laughing harder than the jokes should hit.
Sure.
But there was this one where he was talking, I think, about Jackie Wilson. He saw Jackie Wilson doing a performance. I can't remember who Jackie Wilson was with before he was the Jackie Wilson, but he was with a group. And this is going great.
Jackie Wilson, white or black? I don't know this.
Jackie Wilson, black.
Okay, so
I believe.
So
Brandon, what race is Jackie? Hey, Siri.
So Elvis is talking about this, and then he's like, I went to see Jackie Wilson, and now we're going to record those songs.
Easy.
Well, you get it.
I understand it, but the point is he was impressed with Jackie Wilson, and Jackie Wilson was doing one of his songs, and he was like, oh, that, and I, here we go with an Elvis impression, but like, Elvis, and when Elvis talked on camera, like publicly, you'd be like, oh, that guy's got a weird voice. And when he would talk like just with his friends, it was like, hound dog, it was fucking nonsense.
Like underwater?
Yeah, he sounded he sounded like somebody was drowning Elvis. And so he's telling the story about seeing Jackie Wilson live.
Okay.
And Jackie Wilson is he does an Elvis song. It's well, I can be found, right?
Yep.
But Jackie Wilson goes, oh, that boy has some soul to him. He will come in there and he go, well, I can be found. And Elvis does this impression of Jackie Wilson, and everybody laughs too hard.
Sure.
And then in the rest of the conversation, like 20 more minutes, he just kept going, like, even when it didn't make sense, he'd just go, I can. So that's what it feels like.
That's my version.
That's your dancing
Yeah.
is Elvis doing Jackie Wilson in front of people that were getting paid by Elvis.
Well, we're not paying Brandon. This is nice of him to do.
It's very nice of him to do.
I think this might be the first. He stopped laughing immediately, so it might be the first time he found out he's not
no
getting
idea
paid.
he's not receiving financial support.
But anyways, he was here and he's on the payroll for
Mhm.
ACME, and it's like goddamn earn your money. I mean,
Thank
what else are you
you.
gonna
It's
do at fucking
Tuesday
1
morning.
in the
Earn your fucking
afternoon?
money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sweating, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. So, we both have hoodies on.
Yeah.
It's humid as shit out. There's a fly that I will murder.
We saw this
eventually.
guy before the show started, and I've never seen a man have a tougher time with a fly existing. It's like
It's
like
because
the
it's not a fly. It's as big as a bird.
It's like the fly killed your father. It's like the fly's name is alcohol.
I'm telling you right now.
the fly's name is narcotics in Las Vegas.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's not that I want to kill the fly. It's that this fly is so big that if the lady that swallowed a fly and then swallowed a spider, the spider would have turned around, come out her mouth, and been like, fuck that, that's a big fly. It's too big of a fly. And so that's what concerns me, and I want to kill it because I'm going to mount this fucking thing.
Sure.
And I'm going to put it on my wall, and I think it'd be the funniest.
Like chasing a fish hook?
Yeah, funniest office accessory to mount a fly that's super big.
Yeah, I like that.
And so that's why I want to kill it. I just
Okay.
want to stun it, then I'm going to talk to it and be like, where's your family? This fucking fly knows English. I promise you that. Well, I guess not because Lewis is here a lot. But so, I just made the guy with shoulder problems choke on water. This isn't good. Oh, boy. All right.
I love the delay. The delay is safer for me.
Okay, so it's hot outside.
It's hot
It's
outside.
hot summertime.
Yeah.
And the AC unit, like the main unit, the big, huge 2.2 ton unit, AC unit in my place doesn't work.
Your place meaning the entire complex?
The place that I won't invite you to.
Yes, I understand.
Oh,
That's,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's where I was going because I could take a look at it.
No, it's individual. It's an individual
Oh, so
unit.
this is your individual unit.
Individual
isn't
unit.
working in your whole hot apartment.
Yeah. And so the guy came over and he goes, hey, I think what the problem is the city, it's dirty. There was a lot of pollen. There's a lot of dust. And so these units
Classic.
get really dirty on the outside because the filter and the vent and everything, it's pointing outside. It's on the outside wall. But it is 3 stories up. And so he was like, bummer, the lift that we have is broken. It's in the shop. So I'll just bring a ladder over. And I was like looking up at this thing going, you're going to bring a ladder over?
3-story ladder?
He brought a 20-foot ladder, which has to connect on the last rung, right? I mean, think about that. When you're building a house of cards or a popsicle stick house or whatever it is, you have to go half and half, right? There has to be. And so he's not doing that. It's on the last rung. So when we set it against the outside wall, there is a bend in it. It's pretty wild.
And he was going up that?
Well, here's the thing. He was going to have to stand on then the top rung again while holding a power washer to wash it. And he goes, will you hold this ladder for me? And I was like,
No
I
fucking
won't.
way. No chance.
I go, you're not fucking going up there. And he goes, well, it's my job. I go, dude, you're not climbing up that ladder. I refuse to let you. I'll fucking hold you down here if I have to. And he goes, oh, thank God. Thank you. I was so nervous to do it, but it is my job. And I was thinking I was going to have to go up and do it. And I'm like, I'm not fucking sending. I go, here's my rule in life. If I'm not willing to do something, I don't make someone else do it. And I'm not talking about like fixing a car, changing oil. I'm willing to do that because I know I'm not going to get hurt. But if I'm talking about a fear level thing, I'm not going to make you do it.
Yeah.
So then he goes, oh, that's really nice of you.
Sure.
And he was like, it's still so hot in the place. And the night before, I barely slept because I need cold.
Okay.
I just need it. I'm built for winter.
Which is why we can't sleep together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I need cold. And he then comes over with a portable window unit and goes, I know in the contract it says you can't have these, but we're kind of waiving it because you were so nice to not make me go up on the thing. And so the reason I'm telling this story is because I talk a lot of times where I'm like, fuck you, you motherfucker, and nothing gets resolved.
Sure.
Then 2 people walk away angry. Now I'm telling you a story about being nice and the, not even consequences, the reward of that.
Sure.
Now, Okay, we all learned a lesson. Great for us. But cut to, they rented a lift.
Okay.
So he could go all the way up. And as he was all the way up, because he was going to clean everybody's unit at that point,
Yeah.
2 kids walked by and shut the lift off. So he was just stuck up there.
He was stuck up
yeah.
there.
And he goes, so he's like up there, and I walk by, and he goes, 2 kids, shut it off. And I was like, all right. You turn it on, it comes all the way down, and I'm like, at any point did you think about jumping? He goes, I actually did think about jumping and fucking beating him up until I remembered how high the ladder was against the wall.
Yeah.
And he was like, I knew I couldn't do it. That fear came back, and he didn't jump. But anyways, just telling you that I sleep in a cold bedroom now, and it's fantastic.
Several pieces of information. That's great because when we go there after the show, I was worried that I
have stuff to do. I have so many appointments.
I have a lot of appointments. I'm not home very often. I have to see family, and I'm making time for you. Say on camera, I can come over to your house.
What were you going to say?
I still have that thing where I don't want people to be a dick, like you want people to be nice, but sometimes when people are a dick, even though you don't agree with it and you wish they wouldn't have done it, you kind of have to be like, it's so funny. Kids being a kid.
That's what I said too.
It's so fucking funny.
That's what I told him. I go, I can't imagine your frustration, but right now I'm just thinking great burn.
Yeah.
Because you're safe. It's not a thunderstorm, right?
Yeah.
If they shut that off and it's like a thunderstorm's coming, you can see the clouds coming. You're like, fucking, hey, you're in a metal box. Enjoy this shit. Yeah. That would be rough.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun. He just has to sit up there and just cook a little bit, which is fine.
My brother Jess worked at, so he's had a lot of like me, strange jobs. He left Worthington, sometime, I don't know, late teens, early 20s. Okay. And he moved out to Colorado to make snow on a mountain. And so for a while he was, I think he was like living in a tent by a river. And then I think eventually he moved into a house that had, 30 to 60 other men living in it that were making snow on a mountain.
Well, it's probably hard to afford rent when you have a pretend job.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So he's making the weather at about $3 an hour, and at some point that becomes economically unfeasible.
Yeah.
And so he comes home. He decides to come over to Worthington. And then I think eventually his plan is to go back out. But while he's home, he's going to get a good job. And there's a meat rendering plant in Worthington. I don't know who owns it now, but it used to be called Swift. And before that, it was called Momfort. Oh. And that's the switch to Swift was a smart move because Monfort, the pig chopping plant called Monfort, that's tough. But he was janitoring the meat rendering plant. And one of his first shifts, they took him up. He's like, "There, you got to come up here and clean this." And they walked him up the steps. And then there was just this big, vat. And at the bottom of them was the grater that they would just heave the animal parts into, and it would grind it all down. Like, all right, hop down in there and mop it up. And he just goes, he literally went, punk, walked out, drove back to Colorado smelling like Momfort.
You smell like shit, man. It's not shit, it's pig. And goddamn, I'm happy to be back here making snow.
Got both my legs. I can get to the top of the mountain. No fucking problem. It's great.
Woof.
I was on the flight coming here.
Okay.
And I flew. So you and I are Delta guys. We're big Delta guys.
Yep.
But Delta, the flight here on Delta was $30,000. Okay. And the flight, that one's an exaggeration. The Sun Country one, not. $70. I bought a $70 flight to come home. So anything I'm about to say is on me. Oh,
Lord. Oh, Lord.
So I get in. I'm psyched because I'm sitting in the very front row, which you think in your brain that's first class. And I think in Sun Country it's actually last class because they have these walls that go up. And I don't know, in fat ass America, or in my case, wide hips size, who sits in these plastic wall seats where your thighs can't spill out underneath the chair. And so I get into my seat, and also I'm in the window, and the window is like curving over. So I'm like this. And I've been sitting there for 30 seconds, and I'm like, I'm going to find a bunch of pills on this plane and take them to death. I'm not going to fly like this. Yeah. And so I asked the guy, there's a space and then a guy here, and I go, hey, man, will you switch with me? And he didn't quite get it. And I go, I have this psoriatic arthritis, and I guess it's going to be, and he goes, I have psoriatic arthritis. And I was like,
oh, yes. One of these mirror guys?
Well, here's the thing.
Is he a little brother? How many older siblings does he have? Because this seems like when you say it's like, I have that.
That's worse. It's worse than that. I had one of those. I pulled it together real quick. It was like a 5-second moment. But at first I thought he was being a dick.
Yeah.
But the 5-second moment, I was like, really? And he's like, uh-huh. He goes, I used to have it. I moved to Cincinnati. And he starts, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah.
Oh, fucking single white female in your ass.
Yeah.
Just completely taking your life.
So I
started stand-up in Minneapolis, and then, I
got real sick.
I started some PT there, and then my doctor said, no bueno, and so I moved to Cincinnati, and I just got back into stand-up. I'm actually headed to Minneapolis for a show at ACME.
Yeah. Staying with my brother Greg. So it gets worse. It was worse than that, though, because I was like, we get talking. He does switch seats with me, and then I'm like, what do you do? He goes, well, I got my degree and he's older. He's like gray hair.
Okay.
But he goes, I got my degree in kinesiology from the University of Minnesota. That's the literal same thing I did.
So at this point,
I think he's from the future.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I had a 5-second moment where I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? That's not how the world works.
Yeah,
I had like the white dog in the flower garden's garage. I had a fucking freak out for a second. I reeled it in really quick, but I was like, sigh?
Yeah.
How do I fix it?
We're like, are we actually flying cunt sentry? What's happening? Why is everything reversed?
It would have been great if that was my future, because he crossed his legs the whole flight. Oh. And so if that's where we're going, if we're going to on the flight, crossing our legs land, that's pretty good. Something went well.
Also, I have to tell you something. I'm proud of you for telling him that you have what you have instead of just a disease, and see what that does.
Yeah.
You've graduated from I have a disease to giving the actual.
The fly's
thing.
back.
See it?
Get him.
He takes off. He knows I do this, and then he leaves.
See, but I think he thinks it's more of a tip of the cap.
I think he thinks I'm saluting, and he's still mad about the banks being closed on Memorial Day.
I agree with that. I agree with the fly on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
Your banks. You don't care about the country the rest of the year. Don't use soldiers as an excuse,
dude.
so I can't put my fucking checks in the bank on a Monday.
I have seen so many people say gay people get a whole month and soldiers get 1 day. First of all, soldiers get almost half the year if you look at all the things. I'm not bitching about that.
I think I'm saying is, you go to the right restaurants, they get the whole year.
Pick a fucking Saturday or Sunday for your day. Take both of them.
Thank you.
Memorial weekend. Take the whole weekend, but we don't have to. Listen, when I'm up in Fergus Falls trying to find a place to fucking eat, come on. I thank you for your service, but I'm hungry.
Other people, the best way to thank them for their service is if all these other people could serve them. So what do you thank you for your service?
Thank you.
I'd like a hamburger, and I'd like to put my $400 check from Atlanta in the bank.
Yeah, okay. That sounds
I'd like to just finalize this minus $1,600 trip into the bank officially.
Yeah, what I would like, listen, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a soldier. Right? I'm not a veteran.
Come on.
I know. I'm wearing green. I look like I could run a block.
You have, if I didn't know you better, like pull your sleeves up.
I can't. They're too tight right here.
They're not too tight.
I mean, everybody knows I have tattoos. So
I know, but I just say it. If you just pull that one up just a little bit, just give it.
I gave it one of these.
There we go. I'm saying, and just leave it. Just leave it for a second. I'm saying now, Brandon, if you saw him and somebody was like, that guy, he wasn't in the Marines. We understand that. Or the Navy SEALs or anything. But if you saw him and somebody's like, he did a couple tours. He's got the right beard. He's still wearing flat brims in his 60s. I buy it.
That's true. Well, so Sean Patton always tells me I have retired Navy SEAL energy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when I always have a T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Where he's like, And when I say retired, I mean the day you retired, you haven't done one push-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it like a college
That's not
baseball
fair. I can't
player.
make fun of myself anymore. Look,
You're under 200 pounds.
I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 5 years, and
Here comes. You're gonna be fine.
I'm gonna let you live. And I'm in better shape than I've been in a long time. So it's hard for me to constantly make fun of myself.
Now that we're under 200 pounds, what was our biggest balloon weight when you were rolling down the street? What was it? Were you checking the scale?
Biggest ever, 228.
See, that's and everybody at home is really upset because that doesn't match with the way you talk about yourself.
Right, but I'm talking about where I should be, right? We all have a weight we should be walking around at.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about fighting weight, right?
Yeah.
Fighters have a fighting weight and they have a walking around weight.
Can I guess your fighter's weight?
My fighter's weight?
I think your fighter's weight has got to be about 180, 185.
I'd say my fighting weight is 175. My
wanna be
walking around
175.
weight would be 185. I think 185 is my
So you're still 15
ultimate
above.
weight.
You're still walking around with 15 pounds of too much.
Yeah,
on you.
but I do also
gotta
have
start being
5
nice to
pounds
yourself,
of metal.
Yeah.
So I do have to remember that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Does the metal weigh more than the bone? Does it?
That's what I'm telling people.
Does it power you up a little bit?
That's what I'm telling people.
There's a bar by my house.
Okay.
Do you remember? Did we drive by potentially when we went to compete? It's called the Monkey Bar and Grill.
I'm not sure because we were in a full blizzard, so I wasn't really checking out like where we were going to eat.
Were we in a full? Yeah, we were in a full blizzard.
Yeah, we were.
So it's called the Monkey Bar and Grill.
Okay.
And it sits down on the river.
Okay.
But it's like pretty. It's not run down, but it's very rustic. It's a brick building.
Sure.
And it looks like the place. It looks like a place where both real bikers, like guys you don't fuck with, go, but also dad bikers who you can fuck with go.
And that's a weird mix too, because you have guys that are patched in, and then guys that desperately want to be patched in. That's weird because then you get the, hey, my people at work say I could be a biker, and you're like, we'll go fucking kill you.
Yeah,
I mean that's aggressive.
I have a friend who I won't even use their name because I don't think they should be doing this. They sure like to, whenever they see bikers, big groups of bikers, they like to heckle them. And
so it's ran. Okay.
I support. I support that. I support that in theory, but the actuality of it is there's not a lot of people that I'd want to pop off less to than the wrong group of bikers. You know, that's an energy that I'm not interested in.
I don't know if I've ever told this story. I was passing a group of bikers, and then 3 of them went really fast and got in front of me, and then I was surrounded, and they all slowed down. And this is without communication. They don't have the fucking mom and dad, boy band microphone that comes out of their helmet.
Roger, pass him and slow down.
Yeah. Hey, Rebecca, just so you know, we're going to hit this truck. And they slowed me down. And then the one guy that was right by my passenger window made his hand into a gun and went pew, pew. And by the way, he did not make the noise pew, pew, but he did do the 2 shots with his hand thing. And I was like,
no. Most scared you've ever been?
No, because I was like, go faster. I'm like looking at him like, I don't have to wait I don't know how to fucking do this, but I'm like, with my 2 fingers, I'm going, let's go. Like if you're going slow, I don't have to wait for you. I wasn't putting you in danger.
No, here's the thing. You're right.
I am right.
But that's a level. Doesn't that guy fall into the category where you go, ooh, I'm not interested in this one.
That guy falls in the category of less protection than my car. That's what this guy falls in the category of. I will tell you something. I've changed my ways. I'm so nice. People bring me fucking air conditioners now.
Sure.
This is in the past.
Temporarily changed your ways.
This is in the
story.
This is in the past.
Okay. Yeah. This is what age chat is this?
But I was just wondering.
How
I don't
long
know,
ago?
probably late 30s. But I was just wondering.
30 years ago.
Why are you shooting a fake gun at me when all I'm doing is try to get around your group safely? By the way,
because you're a scary person.
No one was coming.
There was a guy. Brandon will remember this. There was a guy. I did a show here once, and he was sitting up front. And he was having an all right time, and I don't even think like he like kind of made some crack. And I had one of those weeks where I was like, I think somebody else had ruined the show, so I was like, I'm gonna burn this guy to the ground. And I did, but not in the, sometimes when you're talking, you're like, I don't care if anybody has a good time tonight. I want to make this person feel bad for a while because they've ruined something for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was more like, this guy's kind of talking, and I have some really funny things to say. And he came out, and he tipped me. I think Brandon, was it $100?
Oh, I thought you meant pushed you over.
No.
He gave you money.
He gave me $100.
Wow.
And then he said, I'm going to butcher this, but he says something like, I'm day one. Day one. You understand? Like, he said some stuff like, is that what it was? It was something to the effect of he kept using the phrase day one.
So a fan of yours since he first saw you.
That is not how I interpreted it. Day one to, I think Brandon or Derek or somebody else hopped on the internet and was like, that means I've been in the gang the whole time. And I remember going,
that's different than what I thought.
That is way different.
I thought he was like, hey, I saw you at an open mic your first try.
Here's your $100.
And here's $100.
No, this was, I don't care about money. And I've been in a gang the whole time. And never in my life, that's the first time.
Oh my God.
I was like, everybody who was there was like, oh, that's pretty scary. We're gonna, let's have our P's and Q's moving forward here. So if a bunch of bikers surround me, did he do it like, was it like?
Yeah.
Like he was really like, fuck, looking
But it
at
was
you.
sideways, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that he was driving, right? We were going, let's say 50. So he has a wind at him and still able to hold it steady. I'm going to tell you something right now. If I put my hand up out a window, it's flailing and shit like that. So
if I put my hand out the window,
you can forget it.
Yeah, they're going to have to amputate me at the
the
torso.
How did Cy commit suicide? Jump off a bridge? Just stuck his hand out a window. In town going by a school. It was 20.
Yeah.
It was 20 miles per hour.
And it's over.
It's done.
This guy is gone.
I guess what I'm saying is this. Listen, I understand having Memorial Day, but wouldn't you rather veterans eat for free at a fucking restaurant that's open? That's all I'm saying. Because veterans want to go out to eat on Memorial Day and they can't because it's closed. It seems like a real fucked up thing. It's like, hey, Chad, happy birthday. You have to stay home. That sucks.
Let me throw some seriousness at you.
I'm ready.
I think this country works too hard.
Sure.
And that's in direct contrast with some other people who think we don't work enough. I think everybody works way too hard all the time. And so I think part of the thing is like we get Memorial Day, a lot of those people when they get Memorial Day off, like they're not going to give it up because it's like, hey, here's your 9 days off a year.
Right.
And so, I think we need, let's add a couple holidays, Well, that doesn't help anything because then what if I need to put something in the bank on that Friday? I've got no solutions. Just keep the bank open. Yeah. How am I going to cut into my $2,000 Atlanta loss with this meager check and settle the frustrations I have in my brain on Monday? When you want me to wait till Tuesday?
Right. Yeah. Then you have a whole extra day to think about it.
This bar.
The Monkey Bar and Grill.
Monkey Bar.
They have food. It's and Grill. With an E?
Grill.
With an E?
Grille.
Yeah. So this is old English.
This is a grille.
It's old English.
So the Monkey Bar and Grille. So they had a fundraiser. My friend Cody from BTK Painting.
Sure.
They're throwing a fundraiser for a guy, and place is packed out. And it just opened back up after a fire. Fire shut the whole thing down. And my dad, when he comes down there, he's the sort of guy that fits right in that real bikers, fake bikers mix.
He could be the bridge.
Yeah, he's the sort of biology professor that thinks he belongs in there.
He looks to me like a guy, that like a sexy movie where the teacher takes her glasses off and then removes the ponytail and does this and shakes it out. Yeah. That's what I feel like your dad would do.
Yeah.
If he's talking to these dad bikers and they're like, you're too rough for us. And then the bikers are like, you're not rough enough for us. And then he just takes his ponytail out and shakes it. And everybody's like, never mind.
Yeah.
And then he just bridges everybody, and it becomes this weird thing where everybody merges.
He fits right in them. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce the peacemaker. But yeah, so I've gone there with him. Not impressed. I'm not impressed. But I also don't like drinking beer by a river. That's not a thing I'm into.
Sure.
So I hadn't been a lot since. But I learned some history. It is called the Monkey Bar and Grill because for way too long and up until far too recently, there was a real monkey that lived at the bar, and he would chain smoke cigarettes and drink.
Somebody's like, chimpanzee?
Somebody owned a monkey who I'm assuming owned the bar, and
that's rough.
He would just hang out on the bar and just rip darts and drink whiskey. And then they were like, hey, you remember when we abused that animal so bad that it turned into an addict? We decided to honor him by naming this. And I don't know how long he'd been there before they're like, it's the Monkey's Bar now. But that's wild, right? I don't think it was the 40s. I don't think it was the 40s when that happened.
I wouldn't think so either.
Brandon, I don't have my phone with me. I think, look this up. We still can't pay you.
Please, we're paying you in nicety at least.
I hadn't gotten to the end of my ask yet.
Please.
Here's the fucking thing. He's trying to turn me into a monster, so he has a reason to not let me go to his apartment after this. I would have said please at the end.
Well, that's not when you say please.
I didn't even have the ask out. Brandon, I would appreciate it if you would look up, I believe in Indiana in the 20s or 30s, there was a monkey that got put on trial for smoking cigarettes.
That can't be real.
I'm pretty sure it's real. And I had a bunch of jokes about it that everybody hated for 2 to 4 years. So I think it is real. So I don't know what's going on in that part of.
I would have loved to hear that argument where it's like, well, we let monkeys smoke cigarettes, then the gays are going to want to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, think about, when was it, Brandon?
1924.
And they put him on trial. So 1924, a chimpanzee in South Bend, Indiana, is arrested and convicted for smoking.
And that's where Notre Dame is. And you don't think the Catholic Church runs everything? Yeah. They're putting animals on trial for having a good fucking time. Come on. Open your eyes.
The monkey was fined $5, according to Brandon.
And here's a question. I mean, my first question is, how does the monkey have $5?
Well, how's he buying cigs?
Second, that's why I switched it. Yeah. Because obviously he's got some money.
And this guy, if he's getting arrested for it, it's not like this was his first cigarette. He wasn't trying.
He was warned.
Yeah, this is.
But didn't understand English.
Yeah, so. He was.
You're in our country. Learn our language, monkey.
A few moments later.
You want to pick it up?
Wow.
Pick it up. Something just got cut. That's the weird cut that you guys just saw.
That's the weird cut. Sai got real weird.
Me?
Yeah. So
someone led me down the path.
I was just in Las Vegas.
Are we done talking about this monkey who can smoke cigarettes?
I guess, because you can't mind your P's and Q's.
I can't. I'm nowhere. I'm still back. Yeah. I mean, it's. Okay, yeah, let's move on.
I was just in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they let, not only do they let monkeys smoke cigarettes, they encourage it at every live show.
Sure.
And so I was there, and I was doing some guest sets.
The people.
Kelsey Cook was.
The people who go to Las Vegas are big dumb apes.
Nope, that's not what I meant. But I will tell you this. So I'm getting walked back the first night. Kelsey's already at the show. I go there, get walked back. And they go, hey, have you ever worked our club? And I was like, no, I haven't. And they go, well, why not? And I go, because I don't perform in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And then they go, really? Why? And I go, I don't know. And that's what I said.
Yeah.
And then I recorded 3 guest sets that I did, and I'm going to send that to them as their answer. Because Las Vegas is super fun unless you get a bunch of people from a bunch of different places that are either so hungover they can't open their eyes or are so drunk, and then you bring them together. and you try to find commonality, and you cannot do it.
And
so I don't care for it. People have a lot of fun in Las Vegas. That's not what I'm saying. I had a ton of fun outside of the shows.
yeah, of course.
We went to a speakeasy that has like a private secret room.
I thought you were gonna say a monkey that smokes cigarettes.
Well,
and drank
let me
whiskey.
finish.
Okay.
So it's a speakeasy with a private room, and you go in, and the music selection is amazing to the point where I'm a horrible dancer, but even I was trying to dance a little bit. And God damn, it was just so fun. I mean, it was like such a fun time. And then the next day, people were like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't do things 2 times in a row."
Sure. Yeah.
When I go do that, that's it.
It's game over.
You need to know that that's the last time you have fun with me,
Mm-hmm.
because for the next 2.5 days,
You're recovered.
I'm going to be, right now I'm still sweating out the alcohol I drank that night.
Absolutely.
Just standing here.
Well, that's why I'd love to give you a ride back to your place.
No thanks. I'll walk. I'll just walk it off.
It's a long walk.
I know it is, but I think if it's like half hour here, half hour there,
Yeah. You walk it all off.
I'd sweat it all out. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie.
What? So I've only been to Vegas a couple times. Big surprise, not a huge. I love to gamble.
You love gambling, but everything else in Las Vegas you would probably hate.
It's my least favorite. Do you think the crowds are that way? Because it's interesting to think of somebody going to Vegas, right? Because how many people that are in Vegas, like the Vegas, the
Yeah.
part where people are like, this is Vegas.
Yeah.
How many of those people are from Las Vegas?
I mean, where we were, not many.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that live there, obviously.
Obviously.
And I think the employees are obviously all from Las Vegas, but the
Yeah.
people that are walking around, this is a sightseeing situation. I do stand-up comedy for a living, okay?
Yeah.
I know what stand-up comedy is supposed to be. When I go to a stand-up comedy show in Las Vegas, I'm also thinking, why aren't they spinning from ropes?
Yeah.
It's just not, you know, when you go to Vegas, you expect to see that kind of shit.
Well, that's what I mean. Why? And this is no offense to you. You're a very accomplished and known and talented comic.
It's nice of you to say.
I'm not leaving. I'd love to come over after this. I'm not leaving Minneapolis or Cincinnati or wherever, going to Las Vegas and then going to see you.
Right.
The Blue Man Group's over there, and I don't even care
right.
about the Blue Man Group. But how do you go? I can see
Yeah.
the Blue Man Group or Chad.
Right.
But I could probably see you some
Chad
other
will
time.
come to us.
Chad comes to us. The Blue Man Group's not coming to us.
Yeah. We don't go to Chad.
No.
Chad comes to us.
Yes, that's right.
And then when he does come to us, the next Monday we ask him, when
On
is he
his
coming to us?
Instagram, when are you going to be and where
That's
we're at?
exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, how come you never come here? And it's
I
like,
want-
I'm on the fucking plane, dude. In
I
your
wanna-
town still. I'm still in your town. I'm on the tarmac, you fucking twit.
Let me tell you about one other travel thing.
Okay, yeah.
So here comes the fly. Come on, buddy. Come on in here.
Let me
It's
tell you about a
safe
travel
over by
thing. So
me.
this fucking fly. Look at him. He's just getting closer. He knows the drill.
My area is a sanctuary city. Don't walk. If you hit me with your hat on accident, that's what's going to happen. That's how the show's going to end. Is you're going to. He did get him. Oh, you didn't need to step on him. Oh, that poor fly probably had a wife and kids.
Okay, hold on. I'm going back to the thing. I just killed the fly, and let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I killed the fly.
Come on.
But here, no, let me tell you this. It's built like a bumblebee. It's got fur. That's how big this fucking fly is. This fly is a mammal. Do you understand that?
The fly has abs. You
The
can see
fly
him from
is
here.
a mammal. That's unbelievable.
He's actually he spends most of the time in the CrossFit gym down the street.
This is one of these things where when I hit it, I thought it was going to turn into a person. I thought this was like one of those fucking weird.
Yeah, somebody got cursed into being a fly, and they
Yeah.
were waiting for somebody else to snap him back into humanity.
Yeah. So I got to tell you one thing.
Okay, that'd be great.
On the plane ride to Las Vegas, I had not slept well. Okay, I had to bring my niece home.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5-hour trip back and forth. So 5 hours in the car, and then I hadn't slept well because it was super hot in the apartment.
Yep.
And so I get on the plane. I have an aisle seat,
Okay.
and then the guy that has the window seat, I go, "Hey, any chance you would want to switch with me?" So I also asked.
You did this, yeah.
Yeah. And he said, "How can I?" said, "I'm tired." He goes, "I'm tired." He goes, "I had to bring my niece back to her." I'm just kidding. That never happened.
Yeah.
So I go, "I'm tired. And I'm going to sleep the whole flight. And he goes, I like the window. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
no problem. This guy went to the bathroom no less than 10 times. I'm not fucking kidding you. And he kept ordering water to the point where I was like, can you stop bringing this dude water? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he was doing the window thing, like just making sure we were still
In the air.
The clouds were underneath us still. Just making sure.
Is this still a flight?
Just as bright as can be. And then he'd leave it open and he would just fucking Katharine Hepburn text with her whatever she had, her shaky hands. Well, not only that, but it was just like reflecting the sunlight right into my pupil.
Sure.
And so I was losing my mind. And then afterwards I get up and he goes, hey, can you grab my bag? And I just go, no fucking chance, man. No chance. I'm crabby because of this, because I didn't get to sleep. So then on the return flight back, he sits right in front of me this time and reclines his seat before we take off. And I'm just going to tell you something. I just go, hey, not until we're 10,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
That's what I say. And he goes, well, why is that? And I go, I don't know, but just put your fucking seat up.
It's the rules.
But just put your seat up. I don't want to have to deal with this yet. I understand when we're in the air. Are you tired? Do you have to sleep? Not yet. And so he leans his seat back. I, of course, am manning the window that's in between our seats, and I just put it up. He puts it down. I put it up. It was so much fun.
Boy.
Well, thank you. I am a huge bitch.
Boy.
But
you remember earlier when you're like, I'm so different
I'm a
now.
very nice guy unless I need some sleep.
Yeah.
So then he never got up one time to piss. I was just looking at this dude thinking, ha, motherfucker, the guy sitting next to him. I'm like, you are totally going to have to get up so many times. Not one time. And I kept him up too. I don't know what to do. I should have sent him drinks.
Yeah.
The man behind you is sending you a drink to apologize for telling you couldn't have your seat back.
What? Oh, there's something about I'm not capable of whatever you did there is so much better than anything I would have done in that situation, because I think that is such a massive level. Like, I don't know, dude.
Well, let me
that's
tell you
so
something.
Inconsiderate.
I also have to.
I can't even be funny. I'm just triggered.
Kelsey,
is that what they say? Triggered?
Kelsey was right next to me.
Uh-huh.
And I have to open the window when she's not looking because I know she won't appreciate it.
Sure.
I mean, she you know.
She doesn't want to be a part of your blood feud.
She thinks I'm a funny person, but she's like, let's calm it down.
Yeah, she thinks you're a funny person, but like, hey, I don't want to.
I honked at a person on the way home from the airport because they rolled a red light to get through it and turn right and then went 20 in a 30. So either you're in a hurry or you're not. I think we've talked about this.
Yeah, pick a pace.
And so I'm like, beep, beep, beep. And I go, let's go. I gave him the old fucking motorcycle fingers. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then she stopped holding my hand. So she doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure.
She shouldn't go to sporting events with you. I know she's been, but.
I'm pretty good at sporting events when she's there.
Okay.
But every time she would turn, that's when I would raise the window.
Yeah.
So now I'm like trying to hurt this guy's feelings and trying to not have her see it.
See what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's a tough wire to walk.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you seem so stressed and why you've been so ridiculous about me coming over after this podcast is over.
Why are we still doing that?
Why? I want to come over. Just say it. Say it on camera. Say you love me. You haven't seen me in so long. Say you love me.
I hugged you gently before the show, which is protocol.
Yeah, you love me. Hey, Si, I love you. It's so good to see you. Should we go to Whole Foods and then go back to my place so you can see my new place in the
Why would we
greater
go to Whole
Minneapolis
Foods and
area?
then that seems like you're moving in and you're going to make a meal. I don't want to fucking encourage
I didn't
that.
say I was going to make a meal.
Well, I don't want to encourage that. Were you just going to hold a bag walking around my place?
I can put it. How long am I going to be in your place?
Oh, that's what I've been waiting to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I've been waiting to hear. We're going to go to Whole Foods and we're going to get something that can spoil.
No,
and then you can come over. No, that's it.
It's cartoonish.
That's it. You can come to my place, of course.
Okay.
Don't be a weirdo.
Right after this?
Yeah. Of course.
Great.
Of course. Just give me a half-hour head start. I'm going to walk, sweat some of this booze out from 3 nights ago.
And I show up, and that's where Kelsey and I have to wait until we get notified of where they found your body.
I'm not going to give you the address until I get there.
I have a pretty good idea of where it's at.
I don't think so.
I mean, I have a pretty good idea.
I'd like you to... Okay, challenge.
No, I just want a regular come over.
You
I just want a
find it.
regular come over.
If you find it, you can come see it.
I just want a regular come over.
And you can't be in the area. It has to be the perfect spot.
And that's what I wanted this whole time. Cut the cameras, Brandon.
where you know I can be found.